Nice.
She's drinking flavored grape juice, YouTube.
Oh, are we not allowed to?
It's grape juice. Hey, it's Dizzywit.
And I might be Nessa.
And we just watched Sinners. And it was weird.
Let's pause. Put a pause on it for a minute. When we do these reviews, are we spoiling these movies or no?
Might as well.
With a movie like this, if you don't talk about specifics, it's going to be hard to follow.
Spoiler free. Too long didn't read. It was super disjointed and confusing.
But still really entertaining. Please understand we've done zero research aside from just having watched the movie and being very tired after a long week.
Okay, anything past this, you should go see it. Anything past this is going to be a spoiler. So I don't know where to start with this movie because like it kind of felt like two movies that just got slammed together.
I really felt like it was 3 or 4 movies that got slammed together.
Yeah, I don't know how long the movie was, but it felt like 3 hours.
It was maybe 2 hours, 10 minutes. Like, it dragged on. The first hour went on way too long. And, like, I know you hate the jump scares. I like them.
Bro, okay. First of all, the first movie that it is a period piece of, like, the 1930s, like Jim Crow.
Was it 30s? I thought it said 1920s.
What the ever. I'm stupid. She's the smart one. What is that? I like it.
Pocket beans.
Hell yeah.
I told you.
People love hearing eating and drinking.
I thought folks were like into ASMR or whatever.
Y'all into this?
They were coming off of World War I. Is what they were doing. Yeah,
that's another aspect of the movie. Anyways, there's your second movie. The first movie was them in like cotton fields getting their quotas for the day, and then the boy wanted to be a blues singer.
He had aspirations of doing something bigger than what his family was doing.
And he was like, "Dad, I'm back." And the dad was like, "Hey, son." And then it was like, "Jump scare." Fuck, man. It's the first 5 minutes. And then it was like, "I just hope that you jump scare." Literally 3 jump scares.
You
and
startled me.
I literally turned to her and I'm like, jump scares suck. Because they really do.
They don't.
If you build it up and like they're about to move the shower curtain and then you get a shing.
Why do we go through haunted houses? For jump scares.
Do we?
Why would it be any... Yeah, I do.
Do we?
Oh, well, no.
We don't.
My point is, though, jump scares do serve their purpose.
With that, I'm going to have another bean.
Having said that...
It was fucking gorgeous.
Beautiful.
The gold in his teeth offset the scene like...
I know you're loving that the whole time.
Yeah, I want gold teeth so bad. Michael B. Jordan plays 2 characters...
that are like twin brothers.
And I could not tell if the acting was the worst shit I've ever seen or really clever.
I think what gave it the tinge... that it had was the fact that it was the same person and they were in every scene together, almost every scene together.
I've not really seen many movies with him, so I don't know his vibes, but
I think the acting probably
jump scare. Do you like it?
No.
Exactly. What was the kid's name? Simmons?
Sammy?
Sammy? Do you know that actor's name?
Oh, in real life? No.
Wait, I'm gonna make a new theme song. Checking the notes or something. It'll be right here. Checking the notes.
Well, I'll just take this time to enjoy some beans.
I've got to cuss less so I don't have to edit as much. Ass, balls, 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 balls,
Pay
balls.
attention.
I'm trying, damn it. Miles Canton. You're talking about somebody who nailed that role. He kind of spoke like that. He had a weird...
The whole story takes place in Mississippi. And the accents were really...
Wait, was that racist, what I just did?
I don't think so.
Because that's the way he sounded. I didn't do black accent. I just did...
It's okay. But I
Do you
mean...
want to hear how the Asian people sounded?
No, I don't. They actually had bizarre Southern drawls. Yeah. One of the reasons that I asked you to look up who played the head monster was because I wanted to know if he had an actual Irish name. Every other word, especially once he got himself going in those last few scenes, he slipped into a big Southern accent. He lost his brogue and went straight Mississippi.
One of my biggest pet peeves as a person with a Southern accent is fake country accents. I feel like everybody killed it except Michael B. Jordan, and he would slip out and do modern slang and then like slip into like, I'm a dumb redneck. Then he would slip into Delta, a Mississippi accent.
Yeah, and I suspect that one of the ways that they tried to kind of set the scene for that is because they had left their hometown and gone to Chicago. And plus, they had been all over the world as soldiers.
So you tell me Michael B. Jordan's playing 4D chess on me.
Yeah, that is what I'm telling you.
My lowly ass was just sitting there being like,
damn, his Southern accent sucks. Well, he had traveled the world. Having the Klan make a sudden and unwarranted appearance at the end of the movie, like at this point, it had no business being included whatsoever.
There were so many endings to this movie. I don't know which last ending that I watched. It did feel good watching the Klan get clips dumped into them. I feel like whichever side politically you land on, it's still fun to watch Nazis and Klans members just get their asses ripped up by bullets.
Hey, it used to be. Am I right?
I mean, still is for me. I mean, I guess people on the internet. I don't know shit no more. I don't know nothing.
These are dark days.
I don't know shit about nothing. Let's talk about Elon. Y'all want to talk about Elon?
No. Let's talk about what was good with the movie.
The part where the kid starts singing his blues song for the juke joint.
Yeah.
That's one of the craziest scenes I've seen in a film in a long time.
It was incredible.
Yorkie, stop touching my banjo.
How can you see that?
Because I'm a freak. I'm a genetic freak.
I'm getting a migraine from all the light.
So the scene where Simmons starts playing music for the first time is one of the coolest scenes I've ever seen in a movie. It really it starts with like Delta blues and then it goes back to like early African instruments and then starts adding electric guitar and starts doing like early rap stuff and then
like the 90s West Coast rap sound and then with Hendrix already in the background and just the evolution of African music as it's been represented through, since the blues and ragtime and rock and roll were invented. And then they had the other stuff. They brought in like these weird, there was a geisha in there, the showgirl.
For the Asian people that were there, because the Asian and black community were kind of the same in this film. I mean, as of the time, like
marginalized.
Both marginalized by white people.
Who were patronizing them, though. So I felt like that was a political statement as well.
Yeah, I felt like a lot of stuff went over my head because I just went into it like, well, it's a
the
vampire
white people,
movie,
and until the vampires showed up, the white people in the movie were just furniture. They were scenery, which is fine. I mean, it's been that way for other cultures in a lot of art, so it's good for us to share our seat there, I suppose. It's not politics. That's culture.
No, I mean, yeah. I'm just zooming into my face because I'm stupid and I don't know. I just felt like, I felt like it was on the nose on a lot of parts and it was very cheesy in a lot of parts.
Yeah.
Like at one point I literally was like, what? This is so silly.
Especially in the love connections, and there were many. In the love connections.
Guy like me, I'm editing that all out.
Yeah, it was real heavy-handed and extremely cheesy.
The witch and the other guy's love story was cool, but
yeah, I mean, yeah.
Especially the part where he's like, I ghosted you because you're white and I'm black, and if they see you with me, I just want to keep you safe. And then I'm like, okay, could you write a more cliche?
Like, you can't be with me because I'm not safe, and that's why I installed you with a white husband.
It's not because you're black, it's because you rob banks.
Right.
And you hurt people. You literally shot 2 people earlier. It's probably because of your skin color, but also because you're a terrible human.
I loved the Irish villains. I thought they were amazing.
Again, it was extremely on the nose.
I liked their eyeballs.
The
they
motherfucker
were so cool.
started river dancing in the front yard.
They did.
Like, come on, dude.
As they killed people, though, they were like this weird hippie cult. They were all into like love and being a family.
I did like the hive mind aspect. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not big
that
on
was
my,
cool.
I'm not big on my vampire lore, but like being like we understand each other's pain and we understand each other's thoughts. A lot of talk about licking.
There was a lot of talk about licking in a theater that was filled with children.
Was it?
Yes. There were so many families there. I was like, ooh.
The theater was definitely full of people talking, which I kind of enjoyed because at some parts this woman would be like, no!
She screams so loud.
Bro, at one part, the token white Irish dude starts flying, and a woman down to our left was like, ah! And I'm like,
oh, babe, you scared the dog. Come here, honey.
You got 2 types of pocket beans? What the f? Why you give me the long beans?
You know I carry those things on me.
What up? You want to say hi? Anyways, this is Borky the Yorkie, a.k.a. Bjorky. She's a Yorkshire terrorist.
I'm all in cozy mode. It's hard for me to stay focused because normally at this point, I'm holed up with my dog and I'm trying to read a book and falling asleep every 5 seconds. But I do want to return to the music scene. I really thought that was something beautiful. And you know how everybody likes to do that kind of scene with the spin.
We watched it on not an IMAX, but like they call it the Big D. Ain't that what they call it?
I think it is called Big D.
It's bigger than a normal movie, but not quite IMAX.
It's curved too, I think.
But as they were spinning the camera around, I definitely was like, I'm about to fucking puke. Mainly because I ate half a slab of ribs before I walked in there. That's beside the point. The music was much like the whole movie. It's super disjointed. Mm-hmm. Like you had the beautiful swelling synths and the Delta blues, and then all of a sudden, like when a mention of the vampires would happen, it'd be this strange power rock, power metal weirdness, like wow, boom. So it's like you're used to hearing like wow, wow, and it's like, hey, I'm a vampire. Wow!
No, because that music was just when the vampires were appearing or like when there was a battle scene. When the vampires themselves were speaking or doing something, it was straight folk music. It was banjo and it was fiddle.
Was that a real song?
Yeah.
The Pick His Bones song?
Where the robin eats the jay or the jay eats the robin, whatever it was.
Oh, it's birds eating each other. There's so much more metal, and I thought he was just talking about eating a human.
No, he was talking about birds. It might have been about a man eating a bird and then the other bird seeing it and being scared. There might be something to that. I'll have to look it up.
My favorite thing the woman screamed was, no, you better not let him in.
Don't let him in. They didn't fool with any of the Dracula lore or vampire lore innovations that have come about in the last 50 years. They kind of stuck with classics. The garlic, the silver, the has to be invited in, like your standard Dracula stuff. The vampires themselves, nothing really changed about their appearance except for some of them got crowded mouth fangs and some of them just kept their regular faces and just had ordinary
I feel like
fangs.
when they got, because like vampires are super horny, right? Like their thing is that they're horny all the time. These vampires didn't really have. I mean,
they
like
didn't seem horny.
No, that's what I'm saying. They didn't seem horny. They seemed like super turned on by the idea that the guy who played guitar could send them back to hell or something, or summon Satan. So I feel like every time they mentioned him, they would grow extra fangs. I don't know if you noticed that. It's
I
like
didn't notice that.
The closer they got to him, they would always transform, or his fingers got longer. He got more rows of teeth or longer teeth. Every time they interacted with him, they became more vampire-like. Third ending spoiler, Buddy Guy is the
sole survivor, ostensibly, of the night.
But Buddy Guy is Simone when he's older. Is his name Simone? Simmons.
It's Sammy.
Salmon Simmies?
It's just plain old Sammy. It's like the easiest name ever, Sammy.
The guitar guy, when he got older, was played by Buddy Guy. Mm-hmm. And that was pretty cool. I guess it didn't need to happen, but it was cool.
That is one thing that I really had a problem with, because in the year that the story initially took place, he was what, 16, 17? when he took up with his cousins and they had this fateful
he said,
night?
I'm old enough to drink and I'm old enough to do bad things. I don't know.
Yeah, he sure did.
Did
And
we
he
watch
was. But what I'm saying
oral
is,
sex on a woman?
we may have a married woman. Because I think he was just like in his late teens. But here's my point.
I'm adding sound effects right now.
My point is, that was in the early 20s. And then that last thing that took place was in 1992.
So what's the math on that?
That's 70 years. Plus the 16, 17, 18 that he already was.
I mean, Buddy Guy's old as hell.
He ain't 100.
He might be. Don't you ever talk about Buddy Guy like that.
Well,
He got the blues. Skibbity-doo. Don't ever do that. You'll make the devil come.
really, I guess he would be closer to 90. But still, Buddy Guy looks too, I don't know. I just felt like it was borderline. The timeline was borderline to make sense.
I'm going to be real with you. I didn't like any of the endings.
Yeah. There was a character whose name was Cornbread.
Maybe I ought to eat your cornbread.
And I just love that.
You want to know a fun fact?
Sure.
One time when I was wrestling, undefeated. I don't know if you can see my eyebrow raise, but we had a heavyweight on our team. This was in middle school, and there was only one other heavyweight to wrestle him in the town over, and his name was in fact Cornbread. They were both big boys.
That was his government name, Cornbread. The name that was on his birth certificate.
When he came out, everyone went, Cornbread, Cornbread, Cornbread. Anyways, he comes out, and our guy's out, and they just kind of mush around a little while.
Yeah, as one does.
I'm not sure if there was much technique, but they mushed around a little while, and Cornbread was whooping our dude's ass.
Uh-huh.
And then the time limit of the round ended, and they both stood up, and Cornbread puked everywhere on the wrestling mat. Just
Wet cornbread.
bro, everywhere.
Yeah.
These motherfuckers paused it, cleaned up the puke, and these two big ass meaty men
Big meaty man slapping meat.
started slapping around again. And our dude won because Cornbread puked his guts out and couldn't continue.
I don't like the middle of the long beans. They're weird.
I'm telling a generational story here.
I'm sorry. Yeah, it's just something that occurred to me.
Anyways,
And it's not like it was confusing in that it was hard to understand.
there was no plot holes.
It was just confusing and to interpret, like, which direction was it really trying to focus on?
Yeah, there were no plot holes. There were no dead ends. There was a lot of continuity errors. I will say that.
There were a lot of those.
Yeah, that slide he has on his finger, that was everywhere.
You know, everyone loves a vampire.
I will say the cinematography, the wide angles,
Oh, man.
the very blurry backgrounds, so your subjects are always in focus, so you're always paying attention to what's in front of you. But like typically in horror movies, everything's like close quarters, blurry, fast movement. This is like stuck to a scene.
It was all big.
I'm gonna edit that out.
Yeah.
Another scene that stuck out to me was when they were in the car and he talked about a very intense moment of his friend getting lynched, I believe.
Yeah, he got
And-
lynched at a train station.
And instead of showing like gratuitous just grossness, it was still gross, but they played the audio of it as he's talking. Then he starts to like wail up, and then he just starts singing.
He turns it into a blues song.
I had man tears like right
It was-
in my throat.
yeah.
I was like, okay, well, let's move on.
It caught you. Well, I think that was the point.
I was
That's
like,
how
give me
you
more
process.
stuff to make fun of because I can't,
Yeah.
and that's why I can't really fault them for they were obviously doing like political statement, not political statements. What would you call that? Racial statements. I don't know what you fucking call that. It's not complicated, but it is.
Well, for us, honestly, it's two white people looking at black culture from the outside, and
Two white people.
Yeah, us. And so I feel. Oh, right, I forgot about you. I am a white person though.
Let me make
and
a phone call real quick. I got a quick question for you, if you don't mind. So, I was having a discussion with a lady. It's a quick question.
Okay.
Am I in fact, or not in fact, carded?
You are, in fact, carded.
Because I know you took it away from me a few weeks ago because I wouldn't say a certain word. Don't. I can't. I ran out of effects because I already cussed too much in this video.
It's looking at, a Black written and Black acted and Black directed film, for people who don't belong to the culture. And, it probably, there are things in it that seem strange to us that probably actually aren't. And we're just not as familiar with it because the media that we're mostly accustomed to consuming is made by people like us.
And again, I think that's why some stuff went over my head. Some stuff definitely didn't. I could tell with the crowd around that they connected more than I did with certain things that
Sure.
that kind of like I didn't really understand. But yeah, I don't know. This movie was confusing. Where are you barking at? Get him. What is that?
I thought that the movie had some things to say, and again, it's not for us. And so when we see movies like this, like for example, when we saw Get Out's an obvious one.
The Clone Tyrone.
That one too, but what's the one out west with the aliens? Nope. Yeah, that one. I loved that one, by the way. But I think with those movies, when I see them as a consumer and I'm watching them, I always think to myself, there are Black people in the country who for years had to only consume media that was filled with white people that didn't look like them and people that didn't live the same way that they did. And they didn't have a choice about to pick out other things, because there wasn't a whole lot.
I mean, Martin was cool.
Martin wasn't that long ago.
Wasn't Urkel and Martin? You want more than that?
Well, what I'm saying was there was a time where there were no options. And I think about that whenever we, as people of a different culture, are going in to sit down and watch this media.
I don't know how to end this as usual, and I don't even know if the structure of this sucks or not, but we're trying it. We have a new idea that's going to come at some point because I have to work for a month straight.
Yeah.
And, we're going to, if people care, we'll continue to do it. We just watched this movie and decided to talk about it.
Honestly, we'll be continuing to do it whether people care or not. We just won't be doing it on camera.
No, yeah, because this is just like...
this is what we do.
Like driving home, we usually yap about a movie, and now we're putting a camera in our face, and we watch a lot of movies. So, Again, I don't think I'm going to make an outro.
It was definitely a movie that's worth watching. Eventually, it'll be on a streaming service, I'm sure, and you can just dial it up and watch it.
Jump scare! That's the end.
It was unnecessary.